So appreciate him. Welcome, everyone, Kelly Pershinsky.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome. I'm glad you're here, and it's an honor to be here with you. Thanks, Eric. I also am going to talk a little bit about focus. Surprisingly enough, quite a coincidence, almost as if this was organized by dear Dr. James. And what I want to say is that many of you who know me personally know that I spent many of my adult years in Las Vegas, Nevada. I started in the casino industry there in 1989 and spent nearly 18 years there. One of the things that I did on occasion was to venture over to the Stratosphere Tower, if you've seen that or heard of it or maybe even been there. And I would buy my ticket and board the elevator, and the elevator would then propel me up to the top of this tower, up to about 1,100 feet in the air. And I'd always visit the outdoor observation deck there. There's a restaurant, and there's an indoor lounge, and then there's this outdoor observation deck. And you can walk all the way around the deck there. You can see out all over the city, 360 degrees. And if I happened to be up there in the daytime, I always made use of the viewfinders. And you've probably seen them, you maybe have seen them there, or the Grand Canyon or other tourist spots. But I would use this viewfinder, and I'd have to fill it with coins, first of all, be in Las Vegas and everything. And I put my coins in the viewfinder, and then I would point it in a little bit northeasterly direction from the Stratosphere Tower. And I would look and look and look, and eventually I would be able to see the home which I owned and lived in Las Vegas. So just kind of a fun little activity to pick out this personal point of reference from this tower of way up high in the air. And what to me is important about that is what gave me the ability to see that image of my home. What gave me the ability to hone in on the house that I owned, or to pick out that exact thing that I was looking for, the exact thing that I wished to see. And what gave me that ability was there was a little dial on this viewfinder. And I could turn this dial, and I could focus ever and ever and ever more finely until eventually the only image in my view was that which I was looking for, that which I wished to see, in this case, my home. Man, I think there's a lesson in that. The ability to see that and only that which I wish to see. The ability to allow everything else to fade away, to fall outside my field of vision in favor of that which I am looking for. And so I want to mention the song that Delaney sang. And there's a lyric in there that says something like, correct me if I'm wrong, but it says something like, we need to think of other people a little more, right? We need to think of other people a little more. And I want to add to that. I believe we need to also think a little more of other people. If you get that distinction, not simply think of other people more often, but think more of them. Value them at a higher level. So what is it that you and I see? What is it that we focus on when we look at each other? What did you first notice about me today? Mark Stewart, when I walked in, said, nice shoes. But what is it that we see when we look at each other? do we have the ability to focus on the truth about each other, to focus on the best that we can see in each other? Or do we get caught up in appearance? Does appearance so drain our focus that we're not free to see the brilliance and the beauty of another person? Perhaps my green jacket gets in the way of that. Perhaps it's a head full of gray hair or the lines in a face that separate me from being able to see the creativity and the uniqueness in somebody. Or maybe it's political or religious affiliation that stand in the way of that. Or maybe it is that thing I said to you last week or last month or in 1983 that you still remember that is standing in the way of your seeing the best in me, or is standing in the way of my seeing the best in you. I think this is a big deal. I think this is a big idea. I think this idea of focus, this use of focus, can change the world. It would certainly allow us to live this vision statement that Eric pointed out. If we saw and demanded to see only the best in each other, would we not be loving only, forgiving everything, and remembering who we are? So that's a big deal to me. And I know that this idea can change the world if we deliberately take control of our focus in this way and place it where we want to see, where I want to see the best in you, the best for you, the best from you. Have you noticed that when you expect the worst in people, they usually meet that expectation? Well, isn't the opposite of that also true? If we look for the best, I think we allow that to come forth. If I only look for the best from you, the truth of you, I allow that to come forth, and I think that's a big deal. So while I think this idea is powerful enough to change the world, if you will commit to utilizing your focus in this way, and I will commit to it, even if the world at large is not changed, our worlds are changed. Our lives are propelled out to the stratosphere. Not simply to the top of a tower in Las Vegas, but out to a place where we've never been before, because we see only the best, only that which we wish to see in one another. And folks, that is a huge deal. I appreciate your being here. Happy St. Patrick's Day Sunday to everybody. Namaste.